Now at 6, the city of Portland scammed out of millions of dollars, and it's not the first time. Our Ashley Grams has a live report. And whatever happened to the children of the Rajneeshis cult?
It's very peaceful, which is not what I would have said it was back then.
This morning, we hear from the one woman who lived in the Central Oregon commune as a teen as she revisits the dark truth of her past.
Plus, Oregon's Attorney General joining multiple states in a lawsuit against the Trump administration over the president's recent tariffs.
And later, Portland city leaders are trying to get more people downtown this summer. We'll tell you some of the events you can look to as KGW News at Sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Thursday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Chris McGinnis, Rod Hill standing by with weather and traffic.
Hey, good morning. Could be one of the warmer days we've seen so far this month. Remember, we were in the 80s twice in March. So far, we've been up to 79 this month. We're forecasting 78 today. Beautiful clear skies to start. There's the Chehalem Tasting Room camera down in Sherwood. And downtown Portland, clear skies this morning. Early morning number out of the gate, showing up at 43 degrees. We'll be well up into the 60s at noon, 67, and there's the high of 78. East winds today, 5 to 15. Should be a lovely Thursday, Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. Let's take it to Hillsborough right now. Quick check of Highway 26. This is out at Cornelius Pass Road. So for perspective, this is the ramp here from westbound 26 to Cornelius Pass Road southbound. There's your eastbound Highway 26 drive. That is rolling right along. Door number 2 takes us to Tualatin. That looks pretty good as well. So far, a freeway commute in good shape. We'll take you out to Hood River. A reminder today and tomorrow, the Hood River Bridge undergoing maintenance, and that means delays and a lane closure from 8 a.m. until as late as 3 p.m. Guys, that's both today and tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Chris. We're learning more details this morning about a fraud scheme that targeted the city of Portland. The city says scammers took over $6 million that was meant for the Bull Run filtration project.
Sunrise reporter Ashley Graham joins us live from City Hall this morning after reading through all those court documents. Good morning, Ashley.
Yeah, Drew, China, good morning. I read through that lawsuit. It was filed by the city in New York earlier this month. The city says a scammer posed as a vendor on that water filtration project, and in that scheme, the city lost $6.7 million. Now, those court documents accuse the scammer of manipulating the city into allowing him to change the bank account information on file for the vendor, which meant the payment the city made landed in an account that the scammer chose. The city says that along with the FBI, they traced the stolen money to an account owned by a New York law firm. That law firm, the city says, provided information that it was also a victim of fraud. Right now, we don't know to what extent or why the law firm was involved. Now, if you feel like you've heard this before, well, the city was also targeted in 2022. A Florida woman admitted to being part of a scheme that resulted in a $1.5 million loss for the city. Investigators say in that case, a city email account was hacked using malware that allowed scammers to misdirect funds meant for a housing project. Now, right now, the city says that money is in the custody of the U.S. Marshal Service as local and federal law enforcement agencies continue to investigate. As we learn more from the city and these court documents, we'll bring you that information on air and online. Guys.
Ashley, thank you. A new audit has found that it would cost Portland more than $1 billion to catch up on repairs to the city.
Yeah, those repairs cover everything from playgrounds to potholes. The city's audit services director blames the city's old form of government as one of the reasons for this backlog. For decades, city executives focused on individual bureaus instead of taking a broader look at how to best maintain all the city's assets, everything from aging community centers and sewer pipes to rundown streets and sidewalks.
There hasn't been anybody looking at the whole problem. We're now like turning the lights on and everybody can see that it's an elephant, and how do we deal with the thing that we see now?
So the auditor's office is recommending that the city administrator develop a citywide asset management strategy along with a long-term approach to dealing with the city's infrastructure maintenance needs.
The city of Portland is also facing a $93 million budget shortfall. Yesterday, the city administrator Michael Jordan announced that he is targeting a 20% cut across core city services in the next fiscal year. So that includes communications, human resources, technology, and finance, among others. Also, staff reductions, contracts, and spending are all on the table.
Intel is expected to release its quarterly earnings report this morning, 24 hours after announcing another round of layoffs. Bloomberg reports the company is planning another 20% cut to its global workforce as part of a broader strategy to refocus on an engineering-driven structure under the company's new CEO. Intel already laid off 15,000 workers this past October, including 1,300 here in Oregon.
Now to some other headlines we're tracking for you this morning. A teen accused in a deadly street takeover crash is expected to take a plea later today. The takeover happened last November on North Marine Drive and North Ledbetter Road. Investigators say 19-year-old Juan Medina Dominguez was doing donuts when his car flipped onto its side, killing 17-year-old Cameron Lively, who was in the passenger seat. According to court documents, Dominguez could be looking at about 3 years in prison, followed by 5 years probation.
Police arrested a suspect they believe was involved in a shooting that triggered a shelter-in-place order in southeast Portland. So this happened near Southeast 106th and Stark around 6 o'clock last night. Police tell us the person who was shot was taken to the hospital. They say the suspect took off, but officers arrested them in another southeast Portland neighborhood near 122nd and Burnside.
Multnomah County is opening up 13 new sobering beds at a temporary location on Southeast Sandy next Monday. They'll be the county's deflection center in the Buckman neighborhood. The facility is open 24/7 and serves as a drop-off point for law enforcement to bring people who are under the influence. A more permanent center is expected to open in the fall of 2027 on Southeast Grand Avenue with up to 50 beds.
All right, back to some fun at the fairgrounds this morning. Oh, yes, we know this scene well here on the Sunrise Show. We've been covering Ag Fest for a long time. The event itself has been around for a long time. Oregon Ag Fest at the fairgrounds this Saturday and Sunday, and they're off this morning. The mini pedal tractor race, a race that Rod Hill once participated in, although he never got past the start line because he tipped backwards on his tractor a couple of years ago down there. Kids having a blast, even though it's 6:06 in the morning. The big event again happens this weekend. Here come your details. Saturday, hours on your screen. Sunday, hours on your screen. If you want more information, you can go to oragfest.com. I should point out, Rod, the early start on Saturday comes with a pancake breakfast, which costs a little bit extra. But they got all the fixings of that country breakfast that I know you like, the ham, the fried eggs, the pancakes.
I do. The sausage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With all due respect to the John Deere company, the tractor company, they don't have the weight on distribution on those small tractors correct. Because if you sit on the back of it with a fairly large caboose, it will tip over.
Yeah, the kids seem to be fine this morning.
Well, it didn't work when I was. Maybe they've made improvements on the tractor. Here's a reserve at the look at the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha, I should say. Let's see here. Mainly clear skies looking off to the west. Chilly, but not freezing. 39 with a calm wind. Of course, this time of the morning, it's more magical to look off to the east because we're awaiting the rising sun. Pops up in just about 1 minute, and then it'll take it a little bit to get up over the Cascades, but you can see the sky starting to brighten up from the Wells Fargo camera. 43 is the number. Sunny all day today. Eventually, we'll probably start to see some high cirrus clouds coming up from the south, but still sunny and the warmest day of the week. Starting off 41 in Scappoose, 46 in Portland, 38 out in Sandy. Again, there are some cooler spots. Sherwood's at 39. McMinnville is at 38. Maybe a little bit of east wind hitting Silverton and Estacada nearing the Cascade foothills, which would be why your temperature is holding at 51. The wind direction today is from the east, 5 to 15. Wide view, just notice this is this evening. There's a shower thunderstorm threat up into southern Oregon. And then the next couple of days, we'll start to get some cloudiness from this system down to our south, but most, if not all of the rain will hold south and east of our region. So we are looking at least mostly dry weather moving forward into the weekend. Forecast highs today, 77 in Kelso at 4 p.m. Portland the same. Salem up into the 70s. 70 in Madras. The Dalles mid-70s at 4 o'clock. And a mostly sunny day at the coast as well. We've got Portland's high at 78. 75 tomorrow, partly cloudy. 70 on Saturday, some cloudiness. A shower threat, but understand both of these days, even the wettest scenario has them being mainly dry. And then clouds to sun on Sunday. There's a system that stays on track would give us some rain Monday night to Tuesday, and that is your update.